That'd be my guess. I mean, I haven't, again, just standing on the side where I was at, I got a pretty bad angle, but there were some pretty good swings, which indicate to me the balls were not in the right place. And, again, Dan talked about, we've got to make sure that we get the ball down the zone, and that's where, he's been struggling lately. He's left a lot of balls up and been hurt.
At this point, how much do you feel he could use a blow here?
Well, we're sitting there tonight in the dugout afterwards talking about, his pitch count wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. But, he doesn't pitch for another 6 days. He got at least 6 full days off, and we'll see where we are. But, the one thing we cannot forget is we are in a pennant race. We are at the end of the season. We do not need to be getting rid of our best pitchers and letting them sit on the side for a while. So we need to give them, a few days to let them rest up a little bit and then get them ready for whatever happens. If we decide to skip him, we skip him. But, we got some games in between. We'll see what goes on.
And I know you can't know this because you've never seen a guy like deGrom pitching in September, October before. But is there a thought or a hope that even if he is a little gassed by the end, a huge game and the adrenaline that comes with that could be enough for a day or for
Yeah, I think so, Andy. I don't think there's any question. He's pretty frustrated right now. I mean, this is probably maybe there might have been a time last year I've seen him this upset with himself. So, those great starters that burning desire in the next 5 days to get back out there, it can be pretty intense. So we'll just see where we are in 5 days and see what goes on.
We saw, I think it was the Cubs start a while back when he was really upset with himself and he threw something in the dugout. We didn't see anything like that tonight, but how do you see that frustration in him? How did he communicate that to you?
Well, Tyler, these guys, it's like everything. You create your own expectations and everybody else's expectations. If you're not real good, nobody expects anything out of you. You don't expect a lot out of yourself, to be honest. If you're real good, people expect a lot, you expect a lot. And when you don't live up to that, you can be pissed off. And he's not very happy. So I kind of like that makeup that way.
Or do you feel like you kind of let them off the hook in that first inning a little bit?
Yeah,
in the bottom
no
of the
question.
first?
No question. I thought we were going to do some big damage in the first inning, and just didn't do it.
Travis swinging at the first pitch after
Yeah,
the walk.
probably a ball he wished he wouldn't have swung at, ball up in the zone.
I know you haven't decided yet whether you're going to give deGrom a blow, but when you're in a pennant race and when you think a guy might need a blow, but you don't want to even cool him down so much to make him rest 10 days, how tough is that decision, and what's the mindset in making it?
Well, Rich, we don't know what it's going to be yet because, the mindset's very simple, and that is, he's still young, even though he did what he did last year, and he is, a few years removed from his medical issues. That doesn't mean that you still can't be careful of him. He went through a shoulder issue last year where we shut him down for 2 weeks. So, and he came out after those 2 weeks. He came out, gangbusters. So, is a 10-day span helpful? Maybe so. So we got to certainly consider it. And again, leading up to that, we'll see how things are going along there, and then we've got to determine whether or not he needs to start or we can push him back. But I think everybody at this time of year can use a break.
Hey, Terry, 2 quick questions. The first question is, we talked about Darno swinging at the first pitch, but he actually, behind the plate tonight, 3 putouts from back there. That's the first question. The second one, your thoughts on Cespedes being hit.
Well, where do you want me to start again? Well, he threw the ball great tonight. You got one thing about when D. Gordon's on, you better be ready to throw. And he was. He swung at a bad pitch, but he's been so red hot, there's no reason why he thought he could, do damage to it. So, Cespedes being hit, I think it bothered us a little bit. So, We'll answer it in our own due time.
Terry, it's almost as hot as this team has been in their ability to get hits. You're almost very surprised in that first inning when they don't get a couple of big hits to expand the lead.
Yeah, I thought we were going to blow the game open in the first inning. I really did. We had him on the ropes. He had to throw strikes. You got to cut her in on Murph, 3-1. I thought the 3-0 pitch might have been off the plate, but irregardless, you got Murph up there who just saying, all right, 3-1. You still got to get a good ball to hit. Kind of got in on him. Then Travis swung at the ball of the zone, and we just didn't do much damage in the first inning. But I was more concerned with the fact that we didn't do much after that either, because that's where we've come back. When they went up 3-1, I said, well, we're going to come back in this game. And then the next inning, Jake went out and couldn't get him out the next inning, which I think really put pretty much a damper on the evening. But again, one of the things that all this comebacks is created is, we've rested enough guys, but you're going to have a night where it just doesn't work. And so tonight was it. We'll get it ready for tomorrow.
Terry, as far as deGrom, he threw 178 or 9 last year between the minors and the bigs, and now it's 181 big league innings. But I mean, are those numbers comparable, or does the fact that a whole bunch of them were in AAA mean that he's worked already much harder this year?
Well, Richie, I tell you, Roger, I'm going to tell you one thing about, when you're trying to get to the big leagues, you're working pretty hard. I mean, I don't care, just because names, they may not have any names on their backs, in Vegas, doesn't mean that they're not trying to get here. He came up here throwing great. I still go to the fact, when he first got here, he had some tough outings in the beginning. He wasn't real sharp. And then Dan worked on a couple things. They got the sinker back. He all of a sudden learned how to change the eyesight, started to, throw some fastballs up. Took the 2 week with a bad shoulder, took a couple weeks off, and then was brilliant the rest of the way. Right now, he hasn't had any of that break. It's been 181 consistent. He hasn't missed a start. Now, is it affecting him? If you ask him, I don't know what he's going to say. I'll bet he says no. I bet he says he's fine. Well, you can, again, perception's reality, and perception is he might be getting tired. That's the perception. Is it true? I don't know, but it sure looks like it is. So, again, we'll just, he's got, again, a couple extra days this time, and we'll see where we're at.
Terry, any indication of what happened to Alvarez?
Groin.
Oh, serious?
Well, we don't know. They're taking him for x-rays right now, but it's, when it's a groin, it's severe. And when you're a pitcher, they don't heal real fast. So that's certainly going to be an issue.